Good morning, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of Leadwerks Weekend Workshop, where we talk about the last week's progress and we talk about upcoming plans for the next week. And this week is the beginning of the Winter Games Tournament. You can tell because I'm wearing the official game tournament hat. If I'm wearing the game tournament hat, it means there's a game tournament going on, and that means that we have the Winter Games Tournament going on. It starts today, actually. It's going to run from December 20th until January 19th, 2026. I wasn't sure if that made it Winter Games 2025 or 2026. But I chose 25 because it's a nice big number. It's like a nice round number, and it kind of works. Leadwerks 5, 2025, it kind of goes together. So this is what are the Leadwerks Games tournaments. I'm glad you asked this question. Allow me to educate you. Let's take a look at the official article and see what it is. Winter Games 2025. That's human art, by the way. Only the best human art for our game tournaments for you. So this says, as the days grow shorter, fireplaces crackle, and winter chill fills the air, the Leadwerks community is heating things up with the return of our annual Winter Games Tournament. It's your chance to unleash your creativity, bring your wildest ideas to life, and take part in the fun with your fellow developers. Now, these actually came about, this is a community invention. These came about because the community just started doing their own game tournaments. And they were so awesome that I decided, okay, I'll step in to help. And I decided my great idea was to add a prize to the tournament. So like at one point, like I gave away like a Steam controller and some other stuff. And when I did that, participation actually decreased because before that there was no prizes. It was just for fun. And then I added a prize, and then the participation went down because it was no longer for fun. Now it was a competitive thing, and I think most people look at that and they think, well, I'm probably not going to win, so I'm not going to bother. And it's kind of like, hey, you could win this, but chances are you're probably not going to. And so the way this evolved is it actually became a co-opetition. So you're guaranteed a prize just for entering. And there's as you enter more and more tournaments, you get better and better prizes. And we're starting over. We haven't done any of these together, and we have, a whole new engine. We have new swag. We have slightly different logo now. So everything's starting over. The Tier 1 prize is the Leadwerks sticker pack, which includes this, which I have one of these actually on the back of this laptop. There's also a smaller one that's has the sort of purple and pinkish gradient border. And then there's a rectangular one about 3.5 inches, 4 inches wide, and it's like that. That the Leadwerks logo on that really nice dark background with sort of the blue, very slight, very subtle kind of fog effect. That's another one of them. So there's 3 stickers, and if you've ever entered any game tournament before in the past, we have a very special prize. We have the Returning Champions prize package. And that consists of you get the sticker pack. You also get the luxury high capacity Leadwerks USB drive with a magnetic latching box. Just listen to this. Sounds so nice. And inside you have this USB drive. Again, magnetics. There's a weak magnet here so that it just holds the cap on. This is leather on the side. It's very nice. And this one's got a little bit smashed in shipping. Yours, I will ship these in stronger boxes so that yours won't be smashed in shipping. And then in addition to that, you've got one mystery bonus item. Now this is, we're doing this because this is the return of the game tournaments. We're doing that with this tournament only. We have the returning champions prize package. And then typically we do 3 of these a year. We do one for winter, one for summer, and then one for Halloween, because that's a great time for scary games. But this tournament only, we're doing the returning champions prize package. So that's a very special thing that you can get. You just have to go to on our website. There's a place it's linked in the article. There's a place to fill in your address for shipping, and whatever you put there, that's just what I'm going to put on the package. And then I will ship these things to you in the mail, and you will receive them if you enter the tournament. So you're guaranteed a prize for entering. And you just have to make a simple, playable game within the allocated time frame. You upload it on our website. There's a link here to where you can upload it. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's always amazing to see what people come up with in a very short period of time. We've had some really, really cool entries. And I think it's good because it kind of forces people to, there's a definite deadline, and it's like a short-term goal. So you have to get something done within the time frame. You know, when you're doing game development, there's always an excuse to delay things longer and longer, and it's like, oh, I'm going to add another feature, I'm going to go back and do this again. And it's like, when you have a deadline, it's like, nope, got to get it out. So that kind of, you probably want to, scale back your ideas on this and just try to get something that's simple and playable. But, it's my belief that creativity thrives under constraints. That's when it's actually when you have constraints that, when you have limitations on what you can do, that's when the creativity just kind of thrives. So yeah, that's all you got to do. If you don't have Leadwerks yet, it's on sale right now during the Steam Winter Sale, which started it started 2 days ago, Thursday. So yeah, it's just, these are always a lot of fun, and we're here on the forum and on Discord if you have any trouble and need help with your game. But these are always a lot of fun, and it's always a lot of fun to take a look at the end of the tournament and play through the games and see what everybody was able to create in a very short time frame. And there's no pressure to make. I mean, everybody understands that your time is very limited, so there's no real pressure. It's just everybody creates something. It just creates something. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the greatest game ever. Just makes something. And I think just in that process of creating something and putting it out there, that's really the best way to learn. So yeah, a lot of fun. Very happy to see these coming back. That's the official artwork for the tournament, made by Human. Okay. So in December, I want to focus on, right now I want to focus on bug fixes and just small enhancements here and there to improve the usability of the program. I have one update coming out later today. And this is just going to add in 5.0.2, this will be available on the beta branch, which you can opt into on Steam, and this will add, it'll just add a menu item that allows you to hide and show the terrain. So if you're working on some detailed building and you don't want terrain showing up in the background, you can just hide that real easily. And then I want to fix all the bugs I can and add lots of small enhancements for 5.0.2. That'll probably be out towards the beginning of January, the first half of January maybe. And the idea there is to just give you something that's extremely stable and a good solid update because we're going to go for about gonna go for some time without any updates because in 5.1 I want to change some things around. That might take a month. That might take longer. I don't know. It's hard for me to predict this. But in 5.1, I want to refactor some aspects of the renderer. Currently, we are using an approach for lighting that the id software uses. It's called Clustered Forward Plus. I think deferred lighting might work better for the way we're using the renderer in most cases. Both techniques have their pluses and minuses. So it's really hard for me to compare them until I actually go and do it. But my gut says that the deferred approach will probably produce a better result. I don't know until I try it. So that's why I'm using this kind of language. It's like it may provide improved compatibility and optimization for low-end hardware. Until now, all our optimization has been focused on eliminating the CPU bottleneck that most renderers have when they're rendering at high frequency. I haven't really done a lot of work trying to optimize things for low-end hardware, but it's becoming apparent that that's a necessity. Due to the prices of hardware nowadays, first GPUs and now RAM, a very significant portion of people are still using like 10-year-old computers. By my rough estimate, I'd say like 55% of people have a graphics card. Like something like 55% of people have a graphics card, of Steam users have a graphics card that's slower than a GeForce 1080. That's the majority of people. I need to go back in and do a more thorough count because the Steam hardware survey data, it's broken up into like 300 different GPUs or something like that. So it's hard to categorize them. But when I tried to categorize them just roughly, like that was the number, I came up with 55% were below a 1080. And then another 30% or so are like the low end of the high end. So like 2060s, 3060s, 4060s, 5060s. And then about 15% are cards that start with 20 or above and end with 70 or above, or the AMD equivalents. So that's like 2070s, 3070, 4070, 5070, and the 80 series, and the AMD equivalents. That's only like 15% of Steam users. Roughly, very, very roughly. Anyways, it's very obvious. Like there's a necessity to go back and optimize things with low end hardware in mind, both for users of Leadwerks and for our own game. Like we want it to be playable on as many computers as possible. So that's the plan for 5.1. This may make Intel graphics may just work after that. I mean, of course, I'll have to do more testing and stuff, but it may be easier. I don't know until I really try it, but I have a feeling it will be. And it's also going to make things, I have additional graphical features I want to implement, and this change will make it easier for me to do that. Now, so 5.1, like in the internal rendering structure of the engine will change significantly, but your usage will not. And when you change from 5.0 point whatever to 5.1, like it'll just be a smooth transition. You won't even notice the difference. But internally, there's going to be some changes to the way things work, just based on what I've learned. Now, I feel like after 5.1, I feel that might be a good point to talk about Linux support. That might be the time when we want to do it. You probably want to make that sort of coincide with the release of the new Steam machines, either when it ends or when it begins. But yeah, 5.1, and then Linux support is on the table. And in 5.2, the big feature I have in mind, currently we use volumetric environment probes for all of our indirect lighting. And I want to add an additional global illumination light mapping for that, for brush objects. Probably use vertex colors for meshes, but I'll just have to try it and see. But that'll just provide a little bit extra high resolution. That'll provide finer indirect lighting for static objects. We'll continue to use volumetric environment probes for dynamic objects, but I think this can be used to improve the quality, give us even better quality of indirect lighting for static objects. That's the main thing I have planned in 5.2. And there's lots of other like smaller features here and there, and I'll just get them in wherever I can. But this is sort of the big picture, the very big picture view. So before we continue, I just want to give a shout out to everyone who's given us a review on Steam recently. Since the 5.0 release, this includes Primar Rus, Aztec Shaman, Ananto, Pedrito, I think it's Pedrito. I'll practice that. Nijek 999, WW. Two Cats Yelling, Comunista Safado, Reap Blue, Mapache 3D. I read that as Marache. Mapache 3D. And Tapani Neoxa. Thank you all for your reviews on Steam. It makes a big difference. It really helps out. And yeah, I will read your names every week. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful for the chance to be able to add features and new stuff for you to use. It's a lot of fun for me. So thank you again for your review on Steam. And okay, so we've got some chat messages. Let's see what they say. Just add in low-end graphics compatibility features. Yeah, it's a so the requirements are OpenGL 4.6 with the bindless texture extension, which is pretty much everything sold in the last 10 years. This hat also, not only is it stylish, but it also is a good place to store snacks. So OpenGL 4.6, that goes back a long ways, and I've heard of some like ridiculously low-end graphics cards that people are using Leadwerks 5 on right now, which I totally admit I did not anticipate that. That was not something that I had in mind. When I started designing this, I did not think for a minute that, typically we design renderers to be like we just figure like, okay, whatever's, the high end today, that'll be, everybody will have it in 1 or 2 years. And that rule is no longer holding, just because the prices for GPUs and now RAM are so bad, plus, general economic conditions, plus I think the internationalization of Steam probably has a lot to do with it. Like the average user has, a large portion of Steam users are using pretty old computers. So the challenge here is like we want the graphics to be as high end as possible on the latest hardware. I don't think ray tracing, using ray tracing for everything, I don't think that's a good solution, because even on high end hardware, it kind of sucks because of the temporal accumulation artifacts. The fact is, not even the highest end GPU can do ray tracing right now, because they have to stretch that calculation out over like a full second, and that means you get these. That's why the lighting just kind of fades in, and it looks really, really bad with motion. So we want to go like the highest end it to look good on the high end hardware, but we want it to run on the lowest end hardware possible. Tessellation is a good way that we can do that, because tessellation is something that definitely is computationally expensive. If you have that extra power, you can use it, but it's also something that can be turned off very, very easily. Didn't the Leadwerks engine used to have DLC packs for getting started, or am I confusing this with another engine? We had about 6 DLCs, but they're all pretty outdated. So I retired them from Steam. If you already had them on your account, you still have access to them. But they're no longer, those ones are no longer for sale. I have new DLCs on the way. They're not ready yet, but I have a forest environment coming up for you that's very, very nice quality. Very, very high quality. It's definitely better than any of the, we have a lot of free models available already in our integrated download system, but this is like a step above that. And it's a complete scene. It's not just a few models. And then we also have some first-person weapons on the way. These are all on the way. They're not here yet. We do have a lot of 3D models in the integrated downloads system, and of course you can use anything that you find on Sketchfab, licensing permitted, because we can load all those GLTF files in real easy. So yeah, that question basically I already answered. Linux support, be nice once it's ready. It will be nice. Yeah, I think it's time. A lot of it seems like people are actually ready to move to Linux, seriously now, in a way I have not seen before. Bazzite, do any of you guys use Bazzite? It looks kind of interesting.
Is that game distro made for game?
Yeah, someone finally had the crazy idea that games might be something that people want to use their computer for.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why gaming is everybody who's really low level in operating systems and stuff like that, they look down on video games.
Oh, that's why Gabe went to create Valve, because Microsoft had no interest in games.
It's really weird. Apple has the same attitude, but Bazzite,
they're lightening up, but they know that they're way behind the game, so the answer is just to emulate everything.
Yeah. Yeah, Bazzite, they had the idea that operating system, people like games. Maybe there's some stuff we can add that will make it good for games. Is it actually good for games, or is that just a marketing ploy? Do they do anything in there that's actually makes it suitable for gaming?
I don't know. I think what they do, I think they make the drivers a little bit easier, because I know if you have NVIDIA, the drivers are not fun with NVIDIA. Pop OS has good NVIDIA support as well, but if you want to really game on Linux, you most likely want to go AMD.
I was thinking about trying Bazzite because I heard it works well with the NVIDIA, and that's what I'm going to be switching over to probably is Bazzite.
Yeah. I've never had a problem installing NVIDIA drivers on Linux. So is that all it is? It's just it comes prepackaged with NVIDIA drivers?
Yes,
and...
Go
ahead.
No, I just my answer is I don't know, because I installed my drivers for the 1050, but again, they were really old drivers. I don't know about anyone with the 40 or the 50 series, what their experience is going to be.
Do they do anything improve, cut down background processes, improved scheduling, or low memory usage? That kind of stuff would be very, if they had if they just said we reduced all the bloat. It doesn't come with a word processor, and we're going to just reduce the number of background tasks. Like that alone would sell it to gamers. People hate the idea of like background processes using up their resources. If they just said like, yeah, it's like uses low system resources when you're playing a game, like that would be enough to sell it. Like it's free, but to sell people on the idea of installing it.
Alright. You in the chat said that they made some kernel optimizations.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm asking about. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'll try that out, and I don't know, maybe I don't know, like maybe I'll contact them and see if there's any opportunities there.
Well, it looks like it's Arch based too, so I think instead of targeting Ubuntu and like those distros like you typed in the past, I think your two distros is that and SteamOS, and you'll be good.
Hmm. Yeah, I told Canonical, like I told them, like, why don't you just like focus on games and like make it a good operating system for games.
And they went the other way. Made it for servers, because that's where the money is.
Well, and they decided like Linux is still shaking off the it's weird, like Apple comes up with ideas and then Microsoft copies Apple and then Linux copies whatever Microsoft is doing. Like Linux people, they tend to hate Microsoft, but then they copy their absolute worst decisions and they stick with those decisions even after Microsoft themselves abandon them. What I'm talking about specifically is Windows 8, the Windows 8 interface. Like when Windows 8 came out, all of a sudden like the Linux world was like, oh, we have to innovate. We're going to make Ubuntu on the TV, and we're going to make GNOME is going to have like this like interface from like Idiocracy where you just like press the screen what you want for what you want, and then Microsoft finally figured out, wow, this is a terrible idea. But I don't think Linux has gotten the message yet. Like Linux, like GNOME still looks like it does.
Well, it all depends. Well, again, it all depends what desktop you want. I like the Cinnamon desktop because it's a traditional Windows. But you can download any desktop you want. But I think for most players, I think they just want something they're familiar with. They can launch Steam, and once they have the drivers and Steam installed, they're good.
Yeah. When Intel graphics will be implemented, will it affect how everything looks in the renderer, or will it stay the same? It should just stay the same. Like you won't even notice. The shaders will change. I don't think post processing effects will change, but the surface shaders that will change. But the outputted pixels should be exactly the same. Maybe a little bit better. And quite possibly it'll be faster, particularly on lower end hardware where the pixel shader it forms a bottleneck. Absolutely wide range abilities and get rid of stuff that's going to bog down a PC. And for Pete's sake, no motion blur. That is the most annoying feature that I've seen in a few games. I kind of like motion blur, but it should be toggleable. Toggle, is that a word? Toggleable? Optional, maybe a better word. That's excellent. About to move in Linux full time over the next year. If I can get to play nice with my NVIDIA card, I'll definitely. Yeah, so yeah, I'm not talking Proton. I'm talking a native build of Leadwerks for Linux. We need game templates examples as well, which will help newcomers. I agree. Well, do you think I should try to make different examples of games, or do you think I should dig into the first-person shooter and like turn it into like a full like multiplayer shooter, like kind of like Battlefield 6 with one level? That's a question to think about. Hi, it'd be easy to get Cinti assets into this engine. If they export to GLTF or FBX or OBJ, yes. That's because Microsoft's getting stupid with everything. I don't think Microsoft cares about the consumer market. I don't think Nvidia cares about the consumer market. Nvidia, they're cutting their GPU production by like 30 or 40% next year for consumer cards. And I think that's because the people are buying AMD cards. Like gamers are buying AMD cards.
Which work better on Linux.
That wasn't the case a few years ago. I know there's like a big stink about like Nvidia drivers are closed source. I don't have any problem with that. It's hard to read because I've got a lamp like shining right in my face. Maybe if I turn down a little bit. Let's see. That's excellent. About to move. We need game templates. It'd be easier to get sent for a long time. Been using Linux since Win 11 came out. Which distro are you using? I tried to install it on Wine. Yeah, it's. I don't think it's ever going to work on like Proton. Okay, some information about Bazzite. It says some kernel optimization, general tuned better for gaming and creature comforts. Batteries included Arch for gaming. It's batteries included Arch for gaming?
I think that's like, it's like, it's play on words, batteries included, so pretty much you don't have to worry about anything in particular. Like,
so in other words, they include the NVIDIA closed source drivers.
They probably do, and they auto detect your drivers.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you have this card. This is the perfect card for you. Instead of you finding it, and I know Arch can be.
I don't think it's hard to. I don't think it's hard to install NVIDIA drivers on Linux. But I mean, of all the things you could complain about, that's like one of the. I mean, it's the same process as Windows, basically.
Well, I'm not very familiar with Arch, but so I don't know the process of installing drivers for Arch. But
well, there's a joke that there's kind of a joke that people who use Arch, they always tell you that they use Arch.
Yes,
it's kind of true. Linux user, I use Arch. Has to do with Microsoft's intent to monopolize everything, so the support for the drivers focused more on Microsoft hardware, not on other stuff, which is ignored. Actually, I think Xbox might be going in the other direction. Actually, because they're supporting OpenGL now on the Xbox to some extent. Yes, Steam is OS is looking good. Is it? I mean, it runs on the deck right now, and I guess it'll run on the Steam machine. But is Steam OS actually like an operating system to use on your own PC?
It has a desktop mode, and you go into a KDE desktop environment, and I had no problems with it. I mean, I don't use my deck that often, but
yeah, but it's like the general standalone version of Steam OS. It hasn't been updated in a long. Like it fell behind the Steam Deck version, I think. And to my knowledge, it has not been updated. If you go to Reddit/r/SteamOS, it'll I think that's a sticky thread there. They just explain. So I don't know if SteamOS is really like Bazzite might be what SteamOS is supposed to be for general for your own computers, not for Valve's hardware.
yes, I think you're right in that. I think if you have a typical computer, I think Bazzite is what you want to use because SteamOS is optimized for AMD hardware.
actively chuckling because this exact conversation topic can go on for days. Tis true. Any information for Mac support? Mac support is lower priority, but it is possible. I mean, again, like OpenGL is the magical key that makes that happen. It does work on Macs being sold today. Like OpenGL 4.1 still works on a Mac. I'm sure they would love to kill it off, but they just can't. And I would love it if there was a new graphics API that was improved and capable. But OpenGL, honestly, it's still the best thing we've got. It runs on everything, and it allows me to get work done quickly. It provides a lot of backwards compatibility. There's a lot of hardware being used today that will run OpenGL 4.6 just fine. Won't run Vulkan. Won't run DirectX 12. And then there's also the problem that both DX12 and Vulkan. Well, I haven't used DX12 myself, so I can't authoritatively speak about it. But I can tell you, like, Vulkan just makes it impossible for me to get. I can't. Vulkan removes my ability to produce software for you. Like, it's so incredibly tedious to use. I'd estimate it takes about 5 times longer to get anything done with it. And we recently just saw with Blender, they put a lot of money into, and it was this huge announcement that they were switching over to Vulkan. And, they're still defaulting to, Vulkan is there. You can opt into it, but they're still using OpenGL as the main renderer by default because it just has better compatibility. I don't know if they'll ever. I don't know if they'll ever switch to if they'll ever finish that. Different examples, short like you did in the older version. Please be specific. Like, tell me exactly what you want to see, because I can't just, like, I have to make that decision about what I'm creating. So please be extremely specific. That helps a lot. I would like a template for close combat, third person like Zelda or something. Okay, that's more. Okay, so like a 3/4 view, like RPG, like Zelda. Do you mean like which Zelda?
I think we could do like a Wind Waker-esque Zelda template.
Is that like Assassin's Creed?
No, it's like a traditional 3D Zelda game. It's a third person. It has.
So like the camera stays behind the player when they move.
Yes, but you can lock. One thing in Zelda you can do is lock the camera onto enemies. Did you ever play Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask or Wind Waker?
No. I played. I lost interest in consoles after pretty much after Doom came out.
I only bought a Nintendo console to play Zelda, and then after Tears of the Kingdom, where it ran at 15 frames a second, and I didn't have time to do everything. I just said I'm out. Like, I just couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, Super Nintendo was my last console, and I played Link to the Past. Like, I played through it probably a couple of times. Yeah, like kind of RPG is, I'd say, like, first person shooter is the most popular thing that people want to make, and I'd say like RPGs are like number 2. Gonna use more. I'm gonna have to drop soon. That's okay. Is there a way to watch this on playback somewhere later? Yeah, the video will be uploaded on YouTube. Yeah, we record these and put them up on YouTube. The cowboy hat is back. It's not a cowboy hat. It's a tournament hat. What do you guys think? Do you guys think the Steam machines are going to do well? What about the pricing, especially with the this thing is itching. I think it has lice. What about the with the prices of RAM? How do you think that's going to affect the launch of the Steam machines?
Based on my sources, I don't think that's going to be a problem, at least for now.
Okay. How many people want to buy one?
I want to buy a new controller, and I'm interested in seeing the Steam machine for testing. I'm interested in the frame, but I already have an index, so I don't know if I really need a frame.
Yeah, I'll be getting the whole bundle.
Nice.
I have a huge Steam library, though.
OMG, the both of them are pain in the neck with graphics drivers as well. In fact, Game Guru is based on DVP and Vulkan and is rewriting Dark Basic Pro to run DX12. Good luck, Lee.
Yeah,
Good luck. Godspeed, brother.
Heisenberg put up a document about explaining differences between SteamOS and Bazzite, so we can look at that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that would be very interesting. So do you think? Can you give us a summary? Give me an AI summary, but not give me a human summary. Is like Bazzite better for like general PCs or?
Oh, here's an AI like right from the documentation. Give me one moment. Oh, that didn't post well, but
I'm joking that I want it to be AI. I'd prefer for it not to be. Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time.
Yep.
Yeah, sorry, I was playing Quake 2 at the time. When I say template, let's see. FPS templates. Is there any timeline for new DLCs coming to Steam? Not at this time. I've got 2 lined up though. I've got the forest pack that's like it's not just like a bunch of trees. It's like you can actually it actually shows you how to make a forest. And then I have some very high quality first-person shooter weapons that are very, very nice. I do think Steam machines are going to take off. They're going to be around 800 and 900, and they're going to compete with PlayStation and Xbox. Well, if they're $900, how are they going to compete with a PlayStation? How much is a PlayStation? Like 6? How much is the low-end PlayStation? Because I bet you that's what they saw, like, at least, like, 75% of them are going to be the lower one. Is it 500 or 600?
I think they're $599.
Yeah, so $600. The thing is, I think they would have to price the Steam machine at $500. If they priced it at $500, everybody would buy one. They'd be losing money on it, and also a lot of people would just buy the components and then buy it for the parts and then sell it, like, and either use it for a computer or just sell the parts possibly for more than the cost of what they paid for it. So that they're in a kind of a tricky position because they can't it would be easier if they could just if they had a graphics card that was just like glued in and the system was just like really locked down.
I think it's a system on a chip.
Oh, this one is?
I believe so.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I think
replaceable is the hard drive.
I think the RAM might be replaceable too.
Maybe.
Well, who knows? You might be able to take the RAM out and sell it for $900 by then.
Actually, I heard a rumor where they might sell it without the RAM, and then you could add it yourself because of the prices right now.
So 660 range, $600 range with 2 terabyte model being around $800. I am to get one. Well, let me ask you guys who are ready to buy it. Let me ask you: did you buy the original Steam machine, one of them? And
No,
if so,
no, because of,
why is that? Why is this one? Why is this different to you from than the original Steam machine was?
I didn't buy the original Steam machine because I didn't think it was ready yet, and I was right. But after getting the Steam Deck, my views have changed with the way the technology is running, everything they've done with Steam OS and everything.
Okay, so you just feel like it's more more mature right now. It's less of an experimental thing.
Correct.
Do you think the fact that there's only one of them now and it's coming directly from Valve, do you think that also makes a difference in your opinion?
Yeah, I think that helps immensely for me anyway.
Yeah, because it's like yeah, it's not like, oh, these are all Steam machines. It's like, okay, there's this one Steam machine. This is it.
Yeah, there was too many options. Things were overpriced. You know, it was all over the place.
Yeah, I actually do have one of the Alienware ones, and I also have the little Gigabyte bricks thing that they gave away at the Steam Dev Days. That machine is awesome. I actually developed a lot of Leadwerks 5 on it, believe it or not. Like the early some of the early stuff on it.
On the Steam machine.
Yeah, on the Gigabyte bricks, bro.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's really good for testing because it's like it's integrated graphics and it's like it makes the bottlenecks very easy to find. Whereas if you're testing on like a high end GPU, it can it hides your problems sometimes. So yeah, I'd actually like to get that running with Leadwerks 5. Fun fact: I even ran Leadwerks in VR on the Gigabyte Bricks Pro.
How complicated was that?
Not complicated. It just pretty much worked immediately out of the box. I ran it with my Vive in VR with Leadwerks.
Nice.
It got about 1 frame per second. And so I put the headset on, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, "Oh, this is cool. This sucks so much." And then 15 minutes later, and I took it off, and then 15 minutes later, I was like, "Oh, I don't feel so good." And then I just started gagging. I didn't I just started dry heaving in the bathroom.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, because nausea it's a positive feedback loop in your body. So once the process starts, it tends to feed back on itself, and until you get to the point of vomiting. So yeah, that's a fun story. Basically, I ran VR on the Gigabyte Bricks Pro and threw up. That's a big summary. Can I get a summary of the summary?
so I can condense it down. So pretty much,
3 words. Come on. Do you have it set up so people can volunteer DLC packs? You can upload. So you can, and if you go to on our website on the download section, you can upload your own content there, like 3D models and such, and materials and textures and everything. And if you upload something there, it is available for everyone to download directly in the editor. I'm also open to third-party DLCs being sold on Steam. Either most artists I talk to, they prefer to just get one payment up front for a license for me to sell them, and then I pay them up front a licensing fee, and then after that I just sell it on Steam and collect the money myself. Usually they don't want to work with royalties. I'm open to doing that. In fact, if somebody came along with some really high quality DLCs that were ready to use right now, I would be willing to create the DLC for the Leadwerks app ID and then just switch ownership of that DLC to their Steam account. And they would receive all the money for that. So whenever a sale of that DLC occurred, they would get all the money after Valve's cut. I'd be willing to do that if they have high quality content that's ready to go. But most people, they don't want to deal with setting up their account and everything. And I think most people just prefer like a licensing fee paid up front. But yeah, the integrated download system, that's for models that you want to upload and make them available to everybody for free.
Is there any licensing we'd have to worry about there, or for commercial use, or no?
Like as using it or selling content as a DLC?
No, using it. Or is that up to each individual artist?
The license information is included in the item. Most of it it's either CCO or CC attribution. Yeah, but everything's.
So you do have a licensing information for each thing.
Yeah. And I wouldn't allow like
Okay.
non-commercial licenses because that would just be pointless. There's no point in us even hosting that data.
Awesome.
But yeah, everything's free to use. Some of it requires attribution, which is included in the thing. Let's see.
And that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Frame is suited to be cheaper than Index, and controllers will supposedly have an Index-like attachment.
Again, what's the point if you already have an index? I mean, besides using...
Hey, that looks familiar. That looks like our first-person shooter hands. If the Steam machine is going to cost around $800 or more, I don't think I will be buying it just because you can build a better custom PC for better value and potentially have better specs.
Okay, it's $1,000 just for the RAM.
Well, no, not yet. But also, you're also forgetting that, a lot of people can reuse parts from their old computer.
Well, it all depends. I mean, depends what platform. I mean, if I were to build a new computer, I would still use my 4070, but I would probably get a chipset that supports AMD's newest platform, which is DDR5 RAM, and I would still be paying $1,000.
Yeah. I think console lovers are the target, and they are going to switch from Xbox and PlayStation. Do you think so? I don't know. This is an Xbox. This is an Xbox. This is an Xbox. This is an Xbox. You guys can't see me on right now, but on the video I'm holding up like various objects. I'm holding up a candy cane right now. This is an Xbox. Maybe someone can volunteer. Template DLC should be available for use with the engine. I mean, if you look at the Steam Machine is designing their own chips. If not mistaken, I do not think just you don't have to pay to play multiple online games. Regarding RAM in the deck, it is replaceable, but Valve has said they do not advise doing that. Yeah, I probably wouldn't recommend taking your deck apart. There's a lot of small parts in there.
The only thing I did was I just upgraded my SSD to 2 terabytes for my deck.
So you disassembled it yourself?
Yep, just watched a YouTube video. And it wasn't that hard just to do the SSD. I don't know if I'd get any deeper than that though.
Makes sense. All right, I'm caught up on the comments. What kind of games do you think you guys might want to try making during the tournament? Do you have any ideas? And if your idea changes, if you end up making something different than what you think you're gonna when you start, then that's perfectly fine. That happens all the time. Our game has changed significantly, since we started developing it, our SCP game. And it's just normal that you'll find something that works better during development. Yeah, it does have that nice faceplate on the front. Is it what I forget? Like underneath the faceplate, what does it have? Is it still the exterior of it, or does it actually give you access to the internals under the Steam Machine faceplate? Okay, so you take the faceplate. Oh yeah, okay, so it's still the exterior of the case. That just makes it look better.
Yeah, it reminds me of the 360 era where they were like, oh, where you could actually change the faceplates. I miss those gimmicks.
I think it's cool. We need a Leadwerks faceplate for that.
I wonder if you can just do like a sticker that just meant just for that.
Oh, I see. Like just have like a decal that's the exact size.
Yeah. Like, those stickers we got at Steam Dev Days with the for the Steam Link and the Steam controller.
So like a decal like cover kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool. That's the back of it. Or what am I even looking at here?
I think that's the bottom. No, yes, it's the bottom because you see like the ports at the bottom here. It's the bottom.
And they just have this circuit board exposed on the bottom?
No, it does. I think you have to remove something to get it out, but
No, these are the port. There's the ports. Okay, so this is like the front of it, or the back of it.
no, it's the bottom. It's the bottom of it. You remove a plate.
It can't be the bottom of it because.
Yes, it is because if you look at the bottom, you see the USB port on the left, on the bottom left.
So that just goes into the floor.
So no, you're looking at the bottom. Like if you were to pick it up and then like tilt it, pick it up from the front and then like tilt it like away from you. That's what you see.
Is there something that covers this up?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Yeah, I know Yu is working on. He said something about he showed like some stuff about a concept for like a Mars helicopter kind of thing. That could be interesting, and that could work really well. Like some simple like simulation like that might be really interesting. All right, Neo Tracer is gonna leave. Thanks for joining us.
I guess if anyone has a headset, they can just do a VR game. Because you could just do something really, really simple, and it will. And VR games have like a gameplay multiplier attached to them because it's VR. So if you make something that's worth 5 minutes of playtime, it will definitely be like at least 15 minutes. So
Yeah, things like VR just makes things more fun, because it's still like kind of novel. So like just a simple game in VR is it's still really interesting. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, one more thing. Game from Scratch came out with a nice video a couple days ago, 2 days ago. 10,000 views, not bad. And that's just a nice overview of the software. It's always interesting to see how like other people will react, and how it was really interesting to me to see how he summarized it, like the things that he thought were important. So a few things he talked about. Well, he talked a lot about sort of the built-in level design tools, and then also he showed how like the Lua scripting and the C++ entity classes work, how that's integrated in the editor. He pointed out the Lua auto completion, which is interesting, because that's like something that was very like that came like really towards the end, and it could have easily not made it in. But it's interesting how something that I consider to be sort of extra is like something that someone else like focuses on as one of the highlights. So yeah, it's very interesting to me to just see like what someone reviewing it will focus on, and because it's like with a complex software product, it's like there's a lot of information to convey. So what does a summary of that information look like? Well, I mean, I think he came out with a very nice summary. I think it's like 10 or 13 minutes, or
10:27.
Yeah, it's pretty short, relatively short, but that's a nice summary of stuff. That looks like a jet engine.
That's the back.
That's a big fan. I've seen it before, but I think there were more parts on it. That's funny. The whole back of it is just one big fan. Wonder how loud it is. And what's this right here?
The radiator.
So that's a heat sink. That's just a big heat sink for. Is that for both the CPU and the GPU?
I think it's for like.
Or like everything?
I think it's for like everything.
That is really interesting. So it's just a big radiator and a big fan, and it blows out the front. I wonder if that, if the faceplate, do you think that has any effect on airflow?
No, I think it sucks through the gaps there, and then
Oh, so it's blowing out backwards, the back. That makes okay. That's interesting. Is there a fan in the front?
I don't think so. I think that's why you have just one huge fan.
There's just one fan. One big radiator. That's interesting.
Broken toe, why is there just a hard drive just chilling there like that?
Where here?
Yeah.
What is...
That's a hard drive. I think that looks like a hard drive.
I'm having trouble looking, like, seeing what I'm looking at. That looks like a, that looks like a frame that it's mounted on.
No, it's not mounted. It's just, it looks like it's just chilling there.
Why is it, like, tilted over?
He says it's because it's a 10 terabyte hard drive and has no... Oh, the case has no expansion base. Which is kind of weird because my case looks kind of like his, and I can put mechanical hard drives in the bottom. I just don't because wiring and all that.
This looks like a mount right here. Like this.
It looks like a mount.
Like a plastic
but
mount, and then it's slid in here. But the front of this is it like a... This must be going into the... There must be a depression here where it goes into the case.
No, it's just jammed in there.
I've never seen anything like that. Case is nice. Got some cool skull thing in the background. Good colors. The colors make it faster.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, my case is red, black and red. So it's like,
Oh no, no. What are we looking at here? Oh no, oh no. Oh my goodness. Is this real? Wow.
Yeah, I clean my computers before they get to bed. I haven't cleaned my computer. It's been a year since I cleaned my computer. I can see some dust built up, but
Are you like
there's nothing.
working with concrete in the same room? Are you pouring concrete mix into the case? How does it get like that?
My parents' computers used to get that bad because they smoked.
Oh my goodness. And what? Okay, it's a GeForce. Oh no, it's an RTX card.
That's a 4090.
Oh, please tell me it's not a 4090.
It's a 4090.
Is it what is the card? Please tell me. Oh my god, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of photographs when people go to visit Chernobyl. That's what this looks like. You just need like a pile of gas masks here. Of like those old Soviet gas masks. And like some children's toys. And it'll look like a classroom at Chernobyl. How does it... And the GeForce 4090, that came out... How can... When was that released?
A few years ago, actually.
It was released in like 2022? One?
Yeah.
Can somebody look that up?
Jamie, pull it up.
Who's Jamie?
It's Joe Rogan reference.
I got my 4090 on release date, Josh. So
What year was that?
That would have been.
Please tell me
in
what year.
2022.
Okay, question. How is it possible for any Surface to collect this much dust between any date in 2022 and today. How is it possible for that much dust to collect? This is like what you see after like 30 years in the Chernobyl nuclear exclusion zone. Did it fall into a time warp? That's like 30 years worth of heavy use in a concrete factory. The concrete case. Oh, it's a 4090. Oh, the poor card. Case has never been cleaned since 2015. Mounted SSD. Let's see. Wasted time lining up wires for nothing but bragging rights. That's true. Cable management. No wire management. No online RAM. Pure performance. Let the dust build. Shows the chaos and longevity of PowerPC.
I've tried to do cable management, but it always ends up looking like that near the end.
Yeah. That's just a fancy word for wasted time.
Like I buy the modular power supplies and everything.
Clean up computer simulator. There's an idea for a game. Hello, Slastraf. Welcome back. Got something for you. Yeah, the Chernobyl tower case. And the thermals are still fine.
Matters. I think the flash makes it worse.
No, it doesn't.
No, the flash from the camera.
Why? Because you
Makes it
can
worse.
see it?
Yeah, and the light bounces off the dust.
So that you can accurately see the dust that's on there?
Yes.
So in other words, if it was in pitch black and you couldn't see anything, it would be better?
No, if you went there, in person, it wouldn't look that bad.
I do not agree with your assessment. Heisenberg. Are you going to claim... Heisenberg, I am curious if you are going to claim that this looks better in person. Do you make that claim? It's quiet. I'm sure the dust probably muffles the noise. Does it look better in person? Well, that depends on your perspective, so no. Probably looks worse in person. It looks like there's so much dust that it's not just a layer of dust. It's like when the dust becomes three-dimensional. That dust has a displacement map. There's so much of it. It's a tessellated surface with full displacement in 3D. It's 3D dust, three-dimensional dust. New prize idea? Can of compressed air.
Leadwerks branded right there.
It'll clean that right out.
That's an interesting idea. What about a microfiber cloth with the Leadwerks logo on it? Apple sells theirs for $20.
They have Apple branded microfiber cloths.
Yes, they do, and it's $20. And they recommend you use their cloth to clean your Apple screens.
Of course.
And the Vision Pro is a different microfiber cloth, but you have the privilege of receiving that with the product.
Oh, so you don't have to pay extra for it?
No, and it actually says Vision Pro on it.
If I had a $4,000 VR headset, I would probably use whatever cloth they told me to.
Well, I almost screwed up my MacBook screen trying to clean it, and I thought I damaged the screen, and then when I woke up this morning, the damage was gone, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful cleaning that screen. They say that this Whoosh product is like great for it, and I really like this, and so I'm going to start using this a little bit more.
What is Whoosh?
Whoosh is a screen cleaning product that they actually use at the Apple Store. So, and I
Is it like a spray?
Yes, it's a spray. You can buy a little kit for it. I have a little kit here.
So it's like a spray in a little piece of cloth?
Yeah. So you can buy like a big bottle of it too, and just use that if you have microfiber cloths. But yeah, so I've been using that. I live in a household with a lot of dust and hair, and no matter how many times I clean my monitor, there's always that one little thing of hair that gets stuck on, and then I try to clean that, and I just get more hair on my monitor. So nothing can be 100% clean in my house because all the dust and animals.
There are animals inside the house?
Well, I have dogs, I have my cat, and and then the cat kicks up the litter box, and
Oh, yeah, that's something I don't miss. All right, so Winter Games Tournament, it's going on now until January 19th. And we have prizes for everybody. And we'll be around on the forum and on Discord if you need any help. But yeah, that's what's going on. So thank you everybody for joining this week. I'm going to stop the video now.